matter what's going on in your life right now, no matter how many thoughts are racing around your mind, no matter how the body's feeling, just take a moment to sit down and take a big, deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in, a sense of taking in fresh air, the lungs expanding. As you breathe out, a sense of letting go of any stress in the body, in the mind, just feeling the muscles soften and relax. And close your eyes if you'd like to. One more. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just take a moment to pause. Allow the thoughts to come and go. And then just gently opening the eyes again.
And the lighting of our candle reminds us what Jesus said. What did Jesus say? That's right. I am the light of the world.
Good morning, everyone. So this week we've been looking at inspirational people. You may have heard of J.K. Rowling. She's written some books, you know.
This is J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter novels.
Chapter 1 of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was redrafted 15 times. And if you compare her original draft of Chapter 1
to the final version that appears in the book, it is dramatically different. Here are J.K. Rowling's handwritten drafts of the Harry Potter books. She handwrote them and edited them. What's wonderful about these manuscripts is you can see where her original thoughts were and how it's been changed by her going over and redrafting things, rereading her work, changing words, changing the order of sentences. Just like you do, children. You write your first draft and then you edit it and redraft it, you reread it and change words and sentence orders, just like a real author does.
I tell you what, children, your handwriting's a lot neater than hers. You may think that by the time she wrote her last book, that she just wrote it because she's such an expert writer. 17 drafts that last book took.
Once she was happy with her final draft of Harry Potter, she sent it off to various different book publishers, and she was rejected 12 times. 12 different publishers read the synopsis and rejected it. 12 times she was told no.
We can learn a lot from J.K. Rowling. Her persistence, her resilience, and for any aspiring authors, anyone that wants to be a writer, not only does it show that persistence and resilience pays off, but you can learn a lot from her style as well. And her approach to writing too.
From how carefully planned out the plots and the characters are, to the importance of redrafting and re-editing your work.
Whatever you want to be really good at, it's important that you do a little bit of it every day.
J.K. Rowling wrote wherever and whenever she could. She'd write in cafes, on napkins, or on the train on the way to work. So you can't begin to become great at something if you don't start doing it.
Just like yesterday in collective worship, another great example of persistence, resilience, believing and achieving, and of course working hard. To be inspirational, it's about having impact in someone else's life. Yesterday, I mentioned that one of my heroes was my grandpa and Walt Disney.
This is the Royal National Lifeboat Institute of Eyemouth, which is just over the border of Scotland. This is my youngest son, Edward, stood with his granddude and the crew of that lifeboat. In May, my family and I go to Eyemouth and we stay in the big house that you can see in the background. The Royal National Lifeboat Institute is moored just outside the house. And one day when we were in the big house, the lifeboat sirens went off and the crew came running out through the town onto the boat and off out into the North Sea to rescue a boat and its crew that had come to some difficulty. Edward was really worried that someone was hurt, and he was also worried that the lifeboat crew would come back safe as well. So we stood and we waited for the lifeboats to come back safely, having rescued the boat. And here he is, greeting the crew back. After that, the crew let him get on board, sit in the captain's seat, and even let him operate the lifeboat for a little bit. Edward now has a subscription with the Storm Force magazine. It's a monthly magazine all about lifeboats. And here he is, really pleased, because after his time spent with the crew of the lifeboat, he wrote about it and sent it into the magazine. Here he is featured in the latest magazine.
What you might not know is that the crew of the Royal National Lifeboats are all volunteers. They don't get paid to do what they're doing, and it's really dangerous, but it is really helpful for other people. These people save lives. And they don't do it for money, they do it because it's the right thing to do. Here's Hal's story.
I'm Hal Richardson. I'm crew St David's lifeboat, and I've been on the crew for nearly 10 years. I guess some family. My granddad was on there, my dad was on there. It kind of seems silly for me not to join, and we live right next to it as well. I was just a crew member, going for my helm on the ILB at the moment. I'll hopefully be helm then by next year, summer next year, hopefully. Got my two brothers on there as well, my younger brother and my older brother. One's on shore crew and the other's on the boat crew with us. Obviously we all work together on a family campsite. We run it all together, so if the lifeboat goes off, all three of us tend to disappear most of the time. It was a sailing boat, it's about 25 miles offshore. They had problems with their rudder, so we went out to give them a tow back. But unfortunately the casualties were very tired and struggled to pull in the rope, so one of us had to jump across. And me being the youngest on there by a long way, I knew it was going to be me. I wanted it to be me. The boats are all opposite, like 1 second the sailing boat is above us, next minute we were way above them. There was no part of me that was worried or scared. I knew that what I had to do. And it's exactly what I signed up for. Like, you do feel good when you save someone. Even though I didn't feel like I did much at the time, when I got back they thanked me so much, and it's just like the massive overwhelming feeling of like I've actually helped someone. It's exactly what I signed up for. Like, I want to help people. I like it's like self-achievement. I know it sounds a bit selfish, but I do enjoy that achievement side of it. You do feel good when you save someone. Obviously you don't feel great when you don't save someone, but majority of the time it is you're helping someone. When people do help us help other people, like at the end of the day that's what they're doing. Everyone that donates is helping us help someone else.
Thanks, Hal. That was Hal. Real people. Really inspirational.
And how true it is, this Bible quote from Philippians, chapter 2, verse 4. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. It's about helping each other, not because we're going to gain something from it, but because it's the right thing to do. Ultimately, though, we do get something from it. We do get something from helping each other out. We get a warm, fuzzy feeling. We feel good for doing it. We don't get any reward. We don't get money for it. But we get to feel good. And that's better than any reward that can be given to us. Let's share a prayer. If you'd like this prayer to be your prayer, it's arm at the end. You're welcome to look at the candle flame, or you can put your hands and your eyes together. Dear God, today I give you all that I am. I invite you into the weak places in my life so that you can turn them into strength. Amen.
Well, that concludes our collective worship for today. Remember, work hard, be kind, look after yourselves, and I'll see you around school.